Alright guys, so I wanted to go over my two trades today. First one was a small loss. I believe I lost 25 bucks on it. I wasn't happy about it. Last time you saw it was up here at the highs, and it ended up turning around going against me. But let's break it down. First time I traded the stock was right here on this day. Multi-day breakout over this day. As you can see, nice breakout, gap up. We kind of reset up here, but that's another reason why I don't like buying over red candles, but whatever. I tried it, played it small, lost small, and I'm happy about that. But anyways, it may reset back up and I'll buy it again and see if we can get that push. I don't know. But this is set up here over 769. I try to anticipate it, and I'll show you that here. I wanted something like this. Sideways action, 5-minute chart, nice break. But we just got the grind here, which, it could have easily went sideways here and gone higher. So you never know. But I got in on this high day break here because I realized it was going to, actually my first entry was over this high day. I felt like it was going to just go up, but unfortunately just grind it out, and I thought maybe it'd go up again after the second time, but it just grinded me out. So I got an entry at 7:45, and the high was actually 7:32. I was trying to buy over that, got some slippage, and then I was trying to buy over 7:54, but got in at 7:57, so that's a little annoying. A little bit of slippage on E-Trade. I feel like their executions aren't as good as they used to be. It did just get bought out, so could be something to do with that. Anyways, I was up like $90 right here, and we got the dump. Although I didn't cut, my rule is to hold to my stop. My stop was low a day here, 692, because I want a 45-minute held dip or low a day as the stop. That's just my rules on the NASDAQ multi-day breakouts. So we pulled back to 728, and as we held for 45 minutes on this candle, on 15 minutes at the beginning right here, I set my stop at 727. The low of this candle was 728, and it broke right under, stopped out, and I mean, we did have pull back over, so whatever, but you never know. It could have just easily dropped to 680, a little spike to 710, down to 650. You never know, but it held up, and like I said, it may reset up like this, spike, sideways, over highs. So we got the spike, sideways a couple of days, over highs to 10. So keep Trill on watch. And the other play, which actually worked out, I'm happy about, was SPEX. The news was, I had a guy asking me what the news was. I don't know why it's not showing up here, but they're getting a patent on treatment for coronavirus, and they're cooperating with Maryland University. And I haven't seen a PR on treatment for coronavirus yet. I don't know if that's like an actual vaccine or if it's like a room sterilization from a mister. I saw that on the news, and looked pretty interesting actually. But either way, let's get into it. And when I first saw it was down in the 90s, and I saw that it had range, so that made me happy. I also think, yeah, split within the last year, and So I got long right here. We had the spike, and it halted, and that's what alerted me to it. Checked the news, and on the dip, we dipped down to, what was it, 82? And as we started to curl back over VWAP, I just hopped in long 500 shares. My entry was 90.5 cents, not 91, and I was risking low a day. Yeah, so like I said, I was risking low a day here, 70 cents, entry 90 cents, 500 shares, 20 cents risk. So I was risking $100. And, hindsight, I should have bought more shares, but that's always hindsight. My account's growing. That's the number one thing. It's kind of slow here, but what really drew me into it is look at this volume. Huge volume, 900,000 shares in 1 minute. Let's take a look back at the volume here. Recent split, 50,000 shares. I don't know what the news was, but we had 24 million on that day, and the very next day, 2.3 million. So it must have been earnings or some BS. I don't know. But it proceeded to go down, go down, go down. We got the news, and let me take you back to the intraday. We got the nice spike here, and we had a guy talking about he sold some up here and in the 150s, and I was thinking, you know what? He's right. It's way off of VWAP here. This is a speculative trade. It's not one of my bread and butter setups. I need to take off the third here, so that's what I did. Spiked to 167, pulled back to 147, and as it was nearing highs, I took some off at 157. And it proceeded to break the highs and hit 170, of course, whatever. But we had a nice pullback here to 130, and I was happy with my 1/3 sell, and I was risking the rest on low of day still because we haven't had a nice 45-minute held dip. But here's a 45-minute held dip before high of day breaks, and that's the rule. The 45-minute held dip must be held without breaking high of day. After it breaks high of day, then the dip is confirmed as support for me. So technically, over high day, I could add risking the dip, but I just wanted to rock my shares. My goal was to sell some in the 190s because I felt like it would hit go maybe to like 205 stuff, and then who knows, maybe it dropped back down to 185 really quick, and I didn't have a chance to sell in the 190. But it went up to 194, and I thought I hit the market sell button, but whatever, it didn't sell, and it continued to drop, and I noticed I didn't sell. And luckily it held and spiked here, and I ended up getting some off at I guess I thought it was 187, but it says the high here off the bounce was 185, so I guess it must have been 185. And so I basically sold 2/3 of my shares, and I wasn't gonna sell anymore else before the gap up on Monday. And I figured to myself, okay, if it is going to gap up on Monday, then if you get a nice dip before the close, then go ahead and add some shares. And not only did I get the perfect dip before close, but I added shares, but I only added 100 shares. I mean, come on, it's pretty sad. And let me show you where I added. Right here. Pretty great ad, actually. So I noticed to see as it came down, we kind of had that action here, but it wasn't straight like this, and it wasn't. I wanted to wait till we only had about 10 minutes left before I thought about buying. And the low of the candle was 152, and the high was 156. I mean, I could have technically, bought like 300 shares there, and then if it dropped below that, just cut 200 and hold the 100 to see if we get the gap up. But either way, I bought 100 shares here at 157. I mean, right before it. I mean, right on this big green candle, so I was surprised I got executed. That was a nice execution by E-Trade, but it was a stop limit order, so it was sitting there waiting. Anyways, we got a pullback, and then as I was getting ready for work, I noticed it pulled way back here to 140s, and I was only up like 80, which right here I was up like, I don't know, like 120. So I was a little bit disappointed because I was actually down on my shares that I had right here, still up on my shares that I bought from the 90s. Anyways, what time did I leave for work? I left for work at 3:45, so that would be, this here is 3, so 16:45. Yeah, I left right here, and it was back basically at, where I bought it. So I was up like 110 here. But I'm a waiter at nighttime. I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at a restaurant called Abuelo's. It's a nationwide chain. But I mean, it's not bad. I make like $20 an hour most of the time, usually more, sometimes less on a Sunday. But yeah, I like it, especially because I only work 3 days and I make about 5 days worth of wages. So yeah. Anyways, I didn't see all of this, but I asked my buddy, let me look at your phone, because no, I don't have a cell phone, because I don't believe in having one right now. I don't need one. I pay for the internet. I look, and it's in the 230s. I'm like, holy crap. And so look how much I'm up on it, just on this measly amount of shares. I'm up $316 unrealized. But check it. I've already locked in the 230, so, and I suspect that this could gap up to like $3, $4 on Monday with this news. People that didn't see the news, they're going to see it pre-market on Monday, and it's going to fly most likely. So, I mean, if it opens at 3 or 4, I'm looking to probably scale out a piece, like a third of the shares that I have, every single dollar a share, basically. So if it opens at 3, I'm looking to take a third off at 4, take a third off at 5, and then take a third off at 6. That's the goal. Who knows if I'll get it? It's really speculative. I don't know much about what's going to happen with this setup. It's not a multi-day breakout. It's not my cup no handle. So, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with it. But I'm happy on the day. I mean, I'm happy with the day. Says I basically am up 437 on the day, and my account's at 8,744. The gains are adding up. I'm definitely grinding up. I could be going up a lot quicker if I just buy more shares and quit BSing with these boredom trades, but that's the lesson that I gotta learn. Yeah, if you're not following me on Twitter, you need to be. Let's see my profile here. Twitter.com/chesskid90. I like to play chess, it's cool. And look at my pinned tweet. When your specific setup isn't there, don't trade random crap because you're bored, or even stocks that are close enough to your setup. Must follow your set criteria to a T, or forget it. Wasted a year doing this exact thing. Now I'm bored all the time, but the wins are adding up finally. And this was in August, and my account was like at like 2,500 or some BS. And I don't know, I just went through a lot of BS, I'm telling you. So yeah, so that's the recap for today. I know the live trades could have been done a lot better, and they will next time. I'll just probably do it on YouTube live, so I won't have to do 15-minute clip, 15-minute clip. It'll just be one smooth clip, and you'll get to see it all live. But hey, I mean, who else have you ever seen on YouTube trade live and make money like that in front of your own eyes? So